Hello everyone and welcome to WSCI Studio again. We are here in Provence, Mumbai 2022. The event is good and the whole idea is to, understand the response of the visitor and the people who came from outside and understand their experience and exposure. So right now we are with one of my dear friend and Jean-Pierre, and he is from France, and Jean-Pierre is going to give a beautiful explanation. He will explain us about a product that is absinthe. And I know, yeah, I think absinthe is something a really interesting story. So let's hear it from John. Hi, how are you doing? And
Um,
welcome to WSA Studio.
I'm fine, thank you very much, and thank you for inviting me here to talk about my experience and my company. So, as you said, my company now is exporting and distributing the products here in India. We have a very great partner, Monica Alcobev company, which is established in Mumbai, and we started to enter the market, the domestic market, a few years ago, and we are very successful and very happy to be there.
So how is Provine Mumbai treating you?
I'm really happy about the way I'm treated. First, I knew Provine through Düsseldorf because my company has been exhibiting there for a few years now, and we think it's really it's a good place to meet the market, to understand the market, the people, also to see our partners, to explain to the people working for Monica, for example, who we are, giving more details about what is the product. Education is very important, especially when products like mine are made in Europe. We have to educate in India about very specific product. And as I said, absinthe is a very specific product with a very good history. Now, one point is that the organization here is just perfect. We can meet very interesting people. So I am sure that we will have a very great feedback in the future, and we are in a long-term partnership here. So that was very important. Monica invited us to be their partner, to come here. And this is the only Provine we do outside of Europe. We don't go to Singapore or Shanghai for the moment. So the experience here is great.
This is so nice, that you understand Provine Dusseldorf really well. And this is the second year as an exhibition for
Yeah.
Provine, and this is the first comprehensive exhibition for us. So, what do you think? The look and feel and the quality of the event?
It's the quality of the event is there. We can see the organization is perfect. And also the people who come are very interesting. They ask many questions. This is what I told you. They want to be educated about what is the product, what is your category. They need to taste, to feel. And we also need to feel to meet the professional because they are the people who will talk about the product when the producers are not here. So I think the goal is touched and it's very promising for the future. So I'm sure I will be there next year and the year after to support my partner and to meet the Indian people.
Jean-Pierre, I met you, last month or this month in Cannes.
Yes.
And I was so excited, that time also because I am from the industry and the Wine and Spirits Club represent the industry. Yeah. We are from the industry and by the industry. So, when you speak about a brand like Absinthe, a lot of myth. People are not very clear. So I'll be really glad to hear from you more about Absinthe.
You know, it's very important to explain because behind the product there is a big history. Behind every product, actually, when you share a drink, you share something that you drink, good, refreshing, but you share also a moment of culture of the country where it comes from. My company was established in south of France more than 1 century ago. We've always been producers of local spirit. The reason why we are established in Provence is that we are in one of the sunniest regions of France with 300 days of sun per year, which is for us a lot. And we have the widest varieties of botanicals we can find in Europe with more than 1,000 botanicals that are used for cooking, for medicine, for distillations. The idea is let's take all we have around available to make good liqueurs, good aperitifs. And now we are producers of absinthe. This is what we sell here in India. But we produce many more other products like pastis, peach wine, orange wine, thyme liqueurs. This is the know-how we have by dozen years of experience. it's natural to be in Provence, to have a distillery there. And we are very successful. What we try to preserve, it's very important to say that, is the respect of the product. So everything is natural here. We do not use any kind of flavors. What we do is infusion and distillations. And the taste of the fruits and the taste of the botanicals go inside our drink. And like chemistry, we make a nice balance of every product, and we try to find the best taste, the best feelings, also the nice hints of bitterness, so that people can enjoy. It's not only about drinking for drinking. It's drinking and feel Provence, France in the glass.
Wow.
That's our goal.
Yeah.
This is what we do. And when we talk about absinthe, it's very particular because absinthe, more than any other drink in the world, I think, has a great history. Maybe if you allow me, I can just explain you the story. Absinthe, his name is a drink, but his name also, it is the name of the plant, also commonly called Artemisia absinthium. It's an herb that we can find all around the Mediterranean border. This herb, as I told you, we use that for distillation, but was also used as a medicine. The reason is that absinthe is antiseptic. By being antiseptic, the very first use of absinthe was for the French soldiers who were in north of Africa, because these bottles of absinthe were used to pour in the water that was collected in the rivers. To avoid malaria or dysentery, we added a bit of absinthe, and then it killed all the bacteria that were in the water. But as absinthe is bitter, when you touch the leaves of the herb and you touch like that, it's bitter, very bitter. So the idea was, how can we make this drinkable? Just add spices, a bit of licorice, a bit of star anise, a bit of cinnamon or cloves, everything that makes the drink good. And actually, they were very successful because the drink became extremely good. So the soldiers back to France in the 19th century brought back with them this alcohol that they mixed in the bars, in the terrace, with water. And people living in Paris started to see, what is that? We would like to try. And the bar started to buy to the first producers of absinthe this drink that became very popular in the middle of the 19th century. Absinthe is a drink that has all this fantasy about the prohibition, because absinthe was prohibited after that for one reason. Inside the Artemisia, there is one molecule named thuyon. At a high concentration, it can give some addiction and hallucinations like cannabis, for example, but in a very, very high concentration. And as you may know, Van Gogh, Lautrec, Verlaine, Rimbaud were used to drink absinthe, and the legend says that by drinking absinthe, it was making you high and giving you the genius of creativity. But in the other side, many workers were really drinking too much absinthe, and absinthe became dangerous for health. Not because of the product, but because of the use of absinthe. It was prohibited in the beginning of the 20th century. I could talk during hours, but we can't now. But absinthe was allowed again 25 years ago in France, with, of course, a regulation about the quantities of thuyon and absinthe inside. And our idea was, we are distillers. We know how to distill the botanicals, and it would be great to come back to the origins of absinthe, but consuming properly. And there is a huge fantasy about that. Many people know absinthe because they read in the book of Zola, Balzac, the workers in the mines drinking absinthe. Absinthe was cheap, so affordable for people. And we wanted just to come back to this part of the history that we like, because we like the 19th century, we like the Impressionists and the painters. And when people drink absinthe, they drink a little part of Van Gogh, of Verlaine. They have the fantasy that they will get high, not because they will get drunk, but maybe because they will see what we call the green fairy.
But those 90%, 80% absinthe, they are really, really, exciting. I really don't know that, that definitely will give you into the next level.
That's true. But there is something which is very important, because as absinthe has become very trendy, there's also been many brands that were not really respecting the product, but just making the highest possible with colors, etc. We are a premium company, and we respect the rituals and we respect the story. What do? We have our absinthe fields. We grow the plants, we harvest the plants, we dry them in summertime, then we infuse them in alcohol. We respect the product. We want a clear or a light green absinthe. Why? Because absinthe has never been, for example, black or red or whatever. And what makes the absinthe, the taste and the feelings, it's not the alcohol content. It's not being 80 or 90. It's having all these botanicals all together that bring the flavors, the taste, and can make you high because they contain theon. So our absinthe is really a product that is very close to the original one. It's not exactly the same because the original one was prohibited. That's very important. And something important to tell you, we really care about the Indian market. What do? First of all, we do not add any ingredients that would be prohibited for the colors. The color is natural, no green, no artificial colors. The second difference is that the recipe for India is very specific because we cannot export alcohol over 50% of alcohol. So our absinthe is 49.
Okay.
So which gives a very specific taste, very specific color, which is just for the Indian market, and we really take care of that.
Jean-Pierre, I think definitely it is exciting, and the story of absinthe any day excites anybody.
We could talk during a lot of hours. I could show you the paintings of Degas, of Renoir, of Van Gogh, in where you have the situation of people drinking absinthe. Absinthe was the main drink in France and in Western Europe. So this is exciting sometimes in these modern times to go back in the past, take time to enjoy and remember some good moments.
True, true. And you know, how many countries you are exporting currently?
More than 65 now. I would say not in the same time, maybe it's 80.
Okay.
So I'm taking care of all the markets, also duty free.
Okay.
And it's always very pleasant to visit my partners. And something I would like to say, and it's not because I'm here, but I take this opportunity. I think that Indian people are the warmest people I know. Always smiley, always welcoming, always interested, asking questions about what this is, how do we consume, how do you live there. They appreciate that we visit, and that's very important for me to be there also for that.
Oh, interesting. You know, now we are in that big block. We are the 5th biggest economy now in the world. Yeah. So any game plan for India or anything you are looking at in next 3 to 5 years?
We know that your market is developing a lot. We know that more and more companies also want to export to India. It took some time to meet the right partner. So Monica is the right partner for us. The potential is very, very huge. As a producer, there is very few I can do except producing a good product and coming there to support. It's just being with a very great company, Monica, who is growing a lot, who is distributing in almost all the states of India. We give them the keys of the car, I would say. They just have to let me know what we can do. We know that the potential for absinthe is great because absinthe is made with licorice and sea botanicals, and it's perfectly the taste of Indian people. You are the country of spices, you are the country of botanicals, and this is matching perfectly. We know that for the future, India shall be one of our main markets. We are sure of that. And there is, I told you, this is the first Provine I'm doing here. It's not without an idea. I am sure here we will be very successful. We can see the success, but we need to educate, we need to visit, and I am very, very sure that we will be more than successful in the future, but we are already super happy.
Guys, I think I'm super happy with this, interviewing my dear friend, because absinthe is always a myth, lot of story, and we are glad that we heard it from the man himself. Thank you for your time, Joe. And it was wonderful meeting you here.
Thank you.
And wishing you a lot more successful Provine.
I have no doubt for that. Thank you very much.
John, this is a small gift from outside for you.
Thank you.